Welcome back to the Wright Stew Podcast. I'm Paul Stewart.
And I am Brian Wright, still.
There he is. We've got our Christmas sweater, Christmas shirt on, because we're going to be talking about Christmas stuff today. So today's topic are 3 most memorable gifts that we can remember getting at Christmas.
Yeah.
So we know it's the season of giving. We all love giving gifts. We've talked about that. But
When you're a child, though, it's the season of receiving.
It's fun to get gifts. It's fun to have the anticipation, and it's fun to have that one big gift you asked for.
Yeah.
And see if you get it under the tree. If you don't, what that looks like. Does
Santa bring it, or does your parents give it to you?
How it all unravels. So, Brian, do you want to get started and tell us one of your most memorable gifts?
My favorite, and I can't remember exactly the year, 91, maybe 1990. Nintendo. The
NES,
the NES, Mario, Duck Hunt. I don't even know if we got any games with it. Maybe those are only 2 games. Maybe it seemed like maybe there was a football or baseball game that came with. But yeah, dude, we played that for hours. It was expensive for the times. I think it was like a little.
I think it was like $100. Yeah,
and so again, my brother and I, we played that for hours. That's definitely one of the most, and probably when you talk about value. There's a lot of gifts when you get as a kid.
A lot of ROI. A lot of ROI on the Nintendo.
Dude, especially, so that'd be my number 1, actually.
Okay. You jumped right to number 1.
Right, I didn't start at 3. I started at 1.
Okay, you go that order. I'll go back reverse order.
Okay.
So there's a new movie out, a couple years old now, 8-Bit. Neil Patrick Harris stars in it, but he talks about his pursuit of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's great. Somebody compared it to A Christmas Story the other day. A modern version, so maybe we have to check that out. Maybe it makes our top 5 Christmas movie
I hadn't
list.
even heard of it.
Yeah, 8-Bit. So we'll check that out. All right, so my number 3 on my list, my starting lineups. I've shared a little bit about this story.
How could it not be?
I mean,
how could it be anything else?
I'm 1987, 9 years old, just loving starting lineups. I played with them, played little games.
Did you talk with them? I don't
think I ever talked, but I would.
I would have trash to each other.
So, and there was never. They had defensive players, but no offensive linemen. So what I would do is I would take like the colors of the uniform. So I would take the 49ers, the Redskins, whoever the red jerseys were. I put the red jerseys here. Then I would take like the black and blue. So like the Raiders and the Giants and the Bears.
Would be on one team.
And they would be on one team. So I played like the black versus the red team. And I had a football blanket. That was like a football field.
Yes.
And I would put them on that, and I would like have them smashing each other and stuff. And then in baseball. Actually, under my porch, I built like a miniature baseball field for my baseball guys, and I would go in there and I would basically play like the paper football game where I would throw it in, and then depending how much of the plate the little triangle caught, like I would flick it, and then the guys would run around. It was kind of
it's dirt infield.
It was dirty, all dirt everywhere.
Yeah.
Some buckets and stuff under there too. So.
Yeah, that's like stands.
So my number 3 is my starting lineups.
No, it's a good one. So I guess my number 2. And we didn't do huge gifts, but the next one that comes to mind was racetrack. Again, I can't remember the year.
Like a slot car track?
Yeah, just the ones where you get in there and
you hold the button.
Yeah, you hold down the button. Really, really awesome.
Do you remember the kind of cars you had?
They were like NASCAR. I think I had like Richard Petty's, maybe one of his.
You grew up you're in Ramsey, North Carolina. It had to be Richard Petty. Who else
near Randleman, where Richard's based out of. So yeah, I was racetrack, and again, hours. ROI may not have been great, but the first like hour was awesome, and we spent some hours doing that one. Yeah,
we had one of those. That does feel like a very Christmas Day. You crushed that. We actually got into it for a little bit, and they would sell. So you got the ones that came with the track.
Yeah.
And then you could buy extra ones at Toys R Us.
I bought my son had one. Yeah. Got one, and we did the same thing. Then the cars, dude. Yeah, for some reason they make a difference what kind of car you have, like how fast they go. At least now they do. And so yeah, my son has one. We spent hours doing that.
It's all ball bearings these days. Yeah, so we had one of those tracks. But so I on my list there's a lot of great gifts. This is one that really stands out to me. Again, 1990, 91. In that time, I can't remember So I opened the box, and it had 4 cassette tapes in it. It was MC Hammer, Please Don't Hurt 'Em, Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison, Vanilla Ice, To the Extreme, and Candyman, who sang Knockin' Boots was the song. You remember that one?
I do, and I'm surprised. So you were what, 13? So you were getting
12,
to that
13,
age.
yeah.
Did your parents know the lyrics? songs?
They knew I love Vanilla. Like most little white boys in the suburbs, Vanilla Ice was your favorite rapper.
What's your go-to rapper?
And MC
Yeah.
Hammer was pretty clean.
Yeah.
Velvet DeVoe sang a lot. You know, they were harmony, more romantic kind of song sort of
And you
thing.
were into
And
that
a
sort of
couple that
thing.
were pretty. So I'll tell you what Velvet and Candyman Knocking Boots was clearly
Knocking Boots.
knocking boots.
Yeah.
So Belle Biv DeVoe on that tape had Poison, Dope, Thought It Was Me. A lot of great songs, but they also had a song called Do Me.
Which
Do you remember that song?
no, I mean maybe if you sang it.
Do me, baby. Do me, baby.
It seems pretty.
I like it in the
evident.
morning time, sometime. Yeah. Not. I wanted to be in a hip hop, singing group in middle school.
Like an R&B.
Like an R&B, yeah. But I have a terrible voice.
Did you listen to these like in your room by yourself?
So here's the
turned
thing.
off?
So we get the tapes. So Christmas morning, we go through opening gifts, and then everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Me and my little brother, we're upstairs. We're playing. I think we got Tecmo Bowl that year as well.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
we're playing Tecmo Bowl, and I put the Belle Biv DeVoe tape in my parents' big speaker system.
Yeah.
And so we're playing the tape. We're playing Tecmo Bowl. My dad walks in just to in the bonus room just to check, see how we're doing. And the song "Do Me" is on. And I'm in middle school, and you hear a lot of stuff in middle school, and I didn't think anything of it. Probably didn't conceptually really understand
Right.
what the song. And my dad's like, "Hey, what's the song?" I was like, "Oh, it's Belle Biv DeVoe, Dad." He said, "What?" I said, "It's the tapes that Mom got me for Christmas."
Beautiful.
And he's like, "Oh, okay." And watches us play Tecmo Bowl for a couple more minutes, and then
Did he take the tape or did he say
he
anything else
just
about it? He was
and then
good
the
with it?
song
Yeah.
ended, and whatever song else came on next. So
There's a lot of songs that we listened to growing up,
I had no idea.
dude.
No
and,
clue.
or maybe you did, but you didn't. I mean, now there's so many. When you look back and listen to them, it's just like, dude, I can't believe I listened to this with my parents in the car. Mom was embarrassed.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. No, there were some other songs that came on that as soon as they came on, I tried to turn the station because I didn't want to be there with my parents listening to.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, what's your last one?
Last one was I got this remote control car, but it was a truly gas powered.
Oh wow, a nice
Gas. Yeah, I mean, it should have been nice. One where you got like a real motor.
one.
You pull this string to make it start. I think it was super expensive. I think we got it running one time and never got it running again after that.
How frustrated was your dad?
I was frustrated. I was a little bit older, 12, 13 years old, and he was frustrated. So probably $150 car. You had to do this mixture for the gasoline.
yeah.
You pull the string, dude. It never. We heard it run. It sounded like a weed eater. I heard
Yeah.
it run
Whee!
one time,
Yeah.
smoking. All right, we got it. Doesn't seem like the weather was good that we could do it that one day. Never was able to get it running again. So disappointed. Best and worst gift of all time. Yeah.
So I had one of those gas powered cars much later in life, and they're a blast.
Did you get it to work?
Yeah, mine was really nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
But it was
Mine
a blast. They are legitimate like work because those are real small engines. Those
Yeah.
are real, gas combustible engines. They're work, man, and they're fickle. But I got mine up to like 60 miles an hour a couple times. Like
That's incredible.
it was during baseball. And we would get
Put
the
a
radar
gun on
gun, and get it out. And
Did you crash it?
Yeah, several times. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like an electric one, if it crashes, they just tumble and keep going. That if the motor like the gas power one, that they crash,
They're done.
they're real small cars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's what I wanted to experience. I never experienced that.
that's
I mean-
hilarious.
So anyway,
So my number one most memorable is a very similar story. So a story of high hopes come crashing down.
All right.
So 1991, middle school. The tennis shoes that you wear, the shoes that you wear to school as a boy, say a lot about who you are. That's a big.
at least during our era.
I think it still is.
Oh,
but
my son. Oh man, he's probably getting picked on a little bit.
so it's a big deal. It was in our era, right?
Yeah.
And so the pumps were a really big deal. The Reebok pumps,
I
and then
had the pumps.
and then Nike came out with the David Robinson pumps, where the pump was up on the high top part of it.
I don't think that ever caught on.
So
where we were.
so they weren't as popular as the Reebok pumps, but
Yeah.
the David Robinson pumps, that's what I wanted. I didn't really ask for a lot of stuff I don't remember asking. I probably did, but I don't remember being like, "Hey, I want this." That was one of the few things I remember. Like, I want
I
this.
really, really want this.
And shoe culture was big, and
Yeah.
So Christmas morning, I go find the box. That's like kind of like the shoe. I was like a size 12 at the time, and find you can find the box. Shake it. You kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah.
My turn. I wait a couple presents. I don't open it first. I want the suspense.
You like
to build.
deny yourself. That's
I let the suspense build. So I tear it open. It's the orange Nike box. I'm like, here we go.
You got 'em. Yeah.
Pull the box open. It's a different pair of high top shoes. It's not the Robinsons.
I don't even remember these Robinsons.
And my mom, so we'll post a picture. And my mom goes, "Well, your dad just couldn't see spending $125 on shoes." And I tried to play, and like clearly my face was just like,
crushed,
just destroyed. And so my mom, she's trying to like
console you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, thanks, God, yeah.
I'm
trying, yeah. And so I literally a few minutes got up and like went to the bathroom and like shed a little tear. Like I was so
disappointed,
and my mom was like, yeah, said it's like. So
and then from then on, did you have like lowered expectations?
Well, so those shoes I got were like $75.
Yeah, they were nice shoes.
So they were nice shoes. I didn't really like the way they looked, but I still wore them. It was fine.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there thinking, what's only $50 more? Like, take some of this other stuff back. I don't want this other stuff. Like, it's just such a brat, so selfish.
Yeah.
But I remember just like having such high hopes and expectations for those shoes. One of my best friends, he got them that year, and he wore them. And then we eventually, like, he outgrew them. We kind of tore them apart and kind of saw how the pump system worked.
We did the same thing with the Reebok pumps. Yeah.
But I remember just being so crushed. And
what
then,
a gimmick, though, right? I mean, to be able to like put air in the shoe and make them fit tighter, it never really took off. It was kind of a play on like the Marty McFly shoes, right?
The
automatic laces, but it definitely made a difference. But I'm not sure shoe technology from that standpoint really stopped. Like
nobody's adding pumps.
Nobody's doing pumps. I don't think now. Right?
I don't like even like a tight shoe though. So I don't. It probably wouldn't even make sense.
But if you're an athlete, you kind of like your foot to foot.
A little more stability.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the idea. What great marketing on both of them.
Well, you remember? So D Brown won the dunk contest around the same 90-91 from the Celtics, and right before he went for his final dunk, you remember he pumped his shoes up?
Yes.
And that was like, I mean, geez, Reebok had to have just been like, dude, I don't know if they told him to do it, but that was clutch. Gosh, what a marketing ploy that was for Reebok.
It got me, and I wasn't even like huge NBA culture at that point, but I was. Yeah, I mean, the Reebok pumps were the thing. Yeah. Why did you want the Nike and not the Reebok?
I think it was newer. I mean, maybe it's just my friend group. We were into the Nike or whatever it was. I was kind of a David Robinson guy a little bit. He was a center. I was always a taller guy. I played center, so that it made a little more sense for me. So my little brother, he was in the 3rd grade, and there was a little boy in his class who was one of the more popular kids. He had Voight pumps. So you know Voight, the people who make like the big round kickballs?
Well, Voight was not the most popular brand.
So Voight was a Payless brand.
Yes.
Or you bought them at Payless.
Yeah.
So this kid, though, he was the trendsetter for that class. This kid comes in, he's wearing Voight pumps. And all the other boys are like, man, he's wearing the Voight pumps. I got to get me some Voight pumps. So my little brother wanted Voight pumps.
And he got them probably.
And he got them for like $20.
Wow.
I remember picking them up, and they were heavy. They were not.
They weren't the same quality.
They were not.
But Voight was always that brand of if you couldn't afford Nike or
if you
Reebok.
went to pay less to buy shoes. Which no shade
honestly
to that.
Honestly, now,
right?
no shame. But at the time, there was a little bit of a... Like,
as a 13-year-old kid, that kind of stuff mattered. But for his class, like, the one boy set the standard. And it's just a classroom of little boys wearing Voight pumps. Well, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for going down that rabbit trail with us. We appreciate it. Hey, share in the comments, some of your most memorable gifts. We'd love to hear about that. Did they meet expectations? Were you crushed like I was? Hey, let's hear it. Hey, thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on all the socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and then find us wherever you can find pods. We appreciate y'all listening. Merry Christmas.
Out. Go Pack.